Yes, guys, welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Things We Learned. This time, it's the England edition because, as you guys already know, Chelsea aren't playing, and thank the Lord they aren't playing the way they've been the last few weeks. It's been refreshing. It's been very refreshing being able to watch football and not feel as invested in it. Obviously, when your country's playing, you want to see them win and all of that, but it doesn't hit me the same way it does when it's club football. So I feel a lot less stressed already. I feel a lot better mentally with no Chelsea out here to ruin my week. But we'll discuss how all the Chelsea players played individually. And we'll talk about how players who are targeted by Chelsea as well played in this game too. We'll discuss all the major talking points as always. Should be a more positive video as well. And yeah, just stay tuned. Hit the like button if you guys haven't done so already. All the likes, all the subscribes help out the channel massively. So guys, if you haven't done it already, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. If you guys really like seeing us and you want to see more from us too, hit the bell notification button as well. And you'll be the first to know whenever we release any new content on this channel. Now, England beat Iran 6-2. I feel it was a very predictable game, a very predictable scoreline. But it was good to predict a performance like that and to see it in paper as well. Usually, England play a lot more disappointing than you anticipate. In this sort of game, no. We played the game, we didn't play the occasion. And I thought it was a very, very confident and good performance all round. Just a very good performance all round from England. Bukayo Saka got a double. Bellingham, Sterling, Rashford and Grealish all got the goals for England in yesterday's game. A Mehdi Taremi double was the only difference between the two sides, one of them being a penalty. And we all know Taremi from that overhead kick goal against us in the Champions League run back in 2021. Other than that, there wasn't really any big names in that game. I think Shahanbash played. Yeah, he did. He's the guy who scored another overhead kick against us, against Brighton in New Year's Day a few years ago. I don't know if you guys remember that. But yeah, those are the only recognizable names I saw from that Iran side. I do think there was a golfing class between the two sides that I'm sure a lot of people were aware of just from watching the two teams. It was a game that England were expected to win and were expected to dominate. And fair play to the squad because they actually at least did it. We'll go into the talking points. We'll start off with Mason Mount because there's no way we're starting this video off without not talking about our own players. Mason Mount played in his natural position as an 8. I think he played on the left side of a 3 with Rice and Bellingham. And he was really good. Really good. And we need to start playing him in that position more. Maybe we could start seeing him hone his best attributes because it was Iran. I don't want to jump to too many conclusions with it, but it was a very, very good performance, and you got to credit the performance as you see it. Just looking off the stats alone, in the first half, Mount completed more dribbles, won more duels, and was the most fouled in either team in the first half between both England and Iran. I thought he was sharp. I thought he played well. Made a lot of good carries on the turn and good passes out as well. The one thing I will say that Mason Mount is world class at, without a shadow of a doubt, is playing off the turn. When he makes that half turn, it's so quick, and it's all about the decision making after that. That's the only thing that I need to see a bit more of, and I think that's where he needs to improve more, especially when you're talking about playing Premier League level opposition as opposed to playing the likes of Iran. I think usually when we play quicker opposition, he still makes those turns, but the end product at the end of it isn't at its best, and we do need to see more of that. But hopefully some more game time in this position might bring him back from the World Cup in a much more confident mood, and maybe we see better from Mason Mount after that. We know there's big talks about his contract and everything, and there's disagreements over terms, contract length, and I think performances like this would probably justify him asking for the money that he's asking for if he could do it consistently in the Premier League. Hopefully we see more of that, but I thought overall his performance was great. I don't think it was man of the match worthy or anything like that, but I thought he linked up play well, was good in between the defence and attack, Good decision making on the ball. Off the ball, we already know what he offers us. On the ball, though, he looked a lot better. So, first talking point was that Mason Mount had a much better performance. Second, we're going to go into Raheem Sterling. And suddenly, as soon as we have better players around him, he looks much better. It's another one where I think he has been misprofiled a little bit at his time at Chelsea. But I also think we rely on him for a lot more just because of how poor our attack is. But when you surround him with better players, like he has been done in the England squad, he looks a lot better as a result of it. I thought he was getting into more goal-scoring positions. He was looking a lot more decisive on the ball. He was getting the ball in the right positions as well. We usually ask him to collect the ball a lot deeper. He doesn't have to do that at England because he's got the likes of Kane dropping deep. He's got the likes of Saka next to him as well, who is going to feed him the ball in better positions, and they're also going to be in better positions to receive the ball. Saka will get into later on in the video as well, but Sterling looked a lot better. Ended the game with a goal and an assist. I thought it was a very good performance from him. And again, it's something that I just want to see him keep building on. Because if I was Potter, I'd be watching these England games a lot more too. Because I'd be judging where these players are playing, the positions that they're getting into, and I'd just be trying to get them in those positions more. Sterling needs to receive the ball as close to the final third as possible. I don't want to see him dropping deep to receive the ball because he's just not that sort of a player. He's a direct dribbler, but he's more of a player that I'd expect to see in the box and just trying to hit the ball within his first 1 or 2 touches. So it's a good performance from Sterling overall. Again, it is Iran. I don't want to jump to any conclusions with the individual performances, but it was very refreshing to see. Very refreshing to see. Let's move into 2 targets now instead of 2 Chelsea players. Let's talk about Bellingham and Rice, and both of them were instrumental in England's performance yesterday. Jude Bellingham was potentially man of the match with Saka. You could have made an argument for either of them. In the attacking phase, in the defensive phase, he did his duties very well. And if he continues to hone his strength and his power, he could be a Yaya Toure-esque monster. He was unbelievable in that game. Kind of robbed of man of the match, but you can make a debate for him or Saka. Just depends on who you preferred in that game. I thought Declan Rice as well was unbelievable. He held down the defensive side of the game well. I thought his decision making and playing out from the defensive positions was unbelievable too. And even when he was getting forward, he was driving with the ball brilliantly, and it was a really good performance from the pair of them. Looked very promising as 2 Chelsea targets, but I think the biggest issue with the pair of them is going to be financial. But we do know now, it has been leaked from yesterday, that West Ham are likely to let Declan Rice go this summer. Hopefully that means they could lower his valuation on him, because as you guys all know, like, my only issue with the Declan Rice transfer is just the price tag. I think the price tag is absolutely ridiculous. But if you can lower it, then I'm 100% down for it. I think he's a great option for us to play either as a DM or as a centre mid, as a box-to-box midfielder. I think he fits into either role. And he is a player that betters the squad. I just think there's been a massive price tag on his head over the last few seasons. And if we can lower that, then suddenly it looks a lot more affordable. Suddenly it looks like a much better transfer. But let me know what you guys are saying on all their performances down in the comment section below. If you agree or disagree with anything I've said, let me know in the comment section below. And yeah, we'll move into the last 2 points. Little bit of a negative. I want to talk about the defence, because the defence still didn't really cover themselves in glory. I thought there was some times in transition where we were getting done a lot. Maguire, as soon as he got tested, had a massive howler for the first goal. And even in spite of that, I still thought he had a good performance. But that's why I'm saying I'm not trying to jump to any conclusions off the way that we played, because I think as soon as England play better opposition, that defence is going to have a lot of trouble. Even Pickford, again, another player that we're linked with, didn't really cover himself in glory, looked a little bit sus at times. And for me, there's got to be other goalkeeping options we could bring in other than Pickford. I don't think Pickford is the right long-term option for us at all. But you guys will hear me talk about that in a later transfer video as well, so stay tuned for that. Final thought, we'll talk about Bukayo Saka, the man of the match. 2 goals, I think he got an assist in the game as well. Every time he was on the ball, he looked like a threat. He was so direct. His decision-making was unbelievable. And with his form for Arsenal this season as well, I can't lie, if he keeps this form up until the end of the season, he might be in the world-class bracket. I hate to say he might be in the world-class bracket, but he's only continuing to grow and develop and improve as a player. He's getting double and triple marked in Premier League games, and they didn't do that for Iran. And look at the performance you saw as a result of it. Saka might be that guy, you know, as much as I hate to say it, but I'm only going to end it on that, and I'm not going to talk about it too much because he is still an Arsenal player, and I'm still a little bit bitter after the game a few weeks ago. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my thoughts. Like, subscribe, and as always, up the Chelsea.